Hi, welcome to the latest Evo broadcast. This is the last broadcast before the pre-launch on the 15th of July. I've got with me today co-founders of project-eplay, Len Fitzgerald and Tom Brodie. Thanks for coming in, guys. Guys, major question, what was the inspiration behind ePlay?
ePlay's come from a position we were in with our other business we had, and about 2 years in we were looking for some additional products to put into that online products, and did a lot of research and found that online games of skill were a real happening marketplace, and a lot of analysts were giving it the big boom for the future. And the more and more we looked into the games of skill, the more and more it became obvious that that was definitely going to be the case. So we started coming up with ideas of how we can put an associate program, a marketing plan to that, and pay money out to our members. And it became very clear that there was so much money in this business that we couldn't integrate those two businesses with what we already had. And so we sat down, we talked about it, and we both felt that if we were going to go forward with it, we'd have to launch a brand new company. And we both also felt that this market was so big it couldn't be ignored, and we made the decision about 2.5 years ago to go forward with it.
What sort of numbers? I mean, I know we spoke in the past about this sort of thing. You saw a site 2 years ago was doing, what was it, about 40, 60,000?
Well, one of the first sites I saw, it had around about 10 to 15,000 players playing online at any one time. That means there's 10 or 15,000 people playing games against each other right that particular second. That same site today has somewhere in the region of 50 to 150,000 people playing online games. So that site's gone through huge growth in just the last 2.5 years. There are sites out there which can have 300,000 people on, but they say the major growth in this market, the major growth is predicted to come from the next 3 years. So those sites with 100 and 150,000 members playing on them, in 3 years, that's going to be 500,000 members. Yeah, and sites with 300,000 players on them, in 3 years, it's going to be 1 million people playing games at any one time. That's the kind of market we're involved with here. It's huge.
So the figures could not be ignored. We had to...
They were staggering. They were absolutely staggering.
What sort of company, some of the people looking won't really have heard of VWD, maybe. What sort of people are behind VWD? What's our history? What's our pedigree?
Well, we've got a 5.5 year track record. Len and myself, when we first started, we wanted to develop a business that we as affiliates, we as associate members would want to get involved with. And I'm proud to say we've done that.
I think we've definitely achieved that.
I think Len's put in place a support structure, Len, which is...
Yeah, I was going to ask Len, because one of the things that everyone does shout about VWD is the support. I mean, tell us a bit about that.
Well, I can tell you, Mark, the guys upstairs, they just are chomping at the bit to get going. Yeah. They really are. We pride ourselves on offering good support, well, the best possible support that can be given by any company, and they are just waiting to get going. They are so enthusiastic.
Obviously, we do support in other languages as well. I mean, what type of support?
Well, we've currently got 6 languages covered. That's not just translation websites. We've actually got people in place that can actually speak and write in 6 different languages. And they're on site now.
And they answer the phone.
And they answer the phone. They can reply to emails.
So it's full international, multilingual support, email, on the phone. And I know that some of the people in the translation department are native speakers.
Yeah, full backup.
It's full support and backup.
Yes. And that will expand over the years ahead, of course.
Sure. What's been happening, the last 3 weeks, last 3.5 weeks?
Okay, how long have you got, Mark?
It's like, all of a sudden it's like, wow, something's definitely happened over the last 3.5 weeks. I mean, you were saying some stories before about some chap in Brazil.
Well, I think, if you look at the last 3.5 weeks, I think, I want to say this, take this opportunity to say to everybody who's involved with eVolution, a big well done. The job you've done is absolutely outstanding. We've got thousands upon thousands of members registering for eVolution, and it's far outgrown what I thought we'd do in a very short period of time. So well done to everybody out there who's had a hand in that. A big well done. I've seen some members out there with first-class support. We've got web conferences going on in Asia, in Australasia. We've got web conferences going on in Europe, in German, in French, in Italian. And we've got web conferences going on in South America. And one chap in South America, I think in 7 days he's put a team of 2,000 people in eVolution. What's incredible, Mark, is most of these people don't even speak English, and he doesn't have a native tongue site. So he doesn't have. I think most of the people speak a South American dialect of Portuguese. They don't have that site, and they've put 2,000 people in the business.
It's amazing. I mean, my next
in under a week.
You know, do you get a feeling? You know, we're coming to the end of the broadcast now. Do you get a feeling that there's an element, a feeling of destiny here with Project ePlay?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It's happening now, isn't it?
I think what we're seeing now is a culmination of 2.5 years hard work. You know, we've flown all over the globe: Australasia, India, America, and I know you've been doing that as well, Mark. You know, we've been working with companies in 4 continents around the world, and our company is, you know, we have offices in Sydney, in Australia. We have offices in India. We have offices in the UK, where we are at the moment. And we've got offices over in the Isle of Man, and you're seeing a culmination of all that hard work coming together. And I think they say good luck is when preparation meets opportunity, and I think that's what's coming together right now. The market is right. It's growing hugely over the next few years. It's identified. We all know it's there. From a network marketing point of view, we are launching this business at the perfect time. People around the world want to get involved in a business that's going to be there for the long term, and they want to get involved in a business early on. Well, that's exactly what they've got here. That's exactly what they've got their hands on. In 2 years' time, people will say about Project ePlay, I wish I was there at the beginning. And everyone who's involved right now has that opportunity, and it's not to be taken lightly.
I agree. Thanks very much, guys, for coming in. So, end of the broadcast, the last broadcast. The next broadcast you will see will be the new brand, and stay tuned, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much, guys, for coming in.